Welcome to Sell Your Books Saturday with a really great quote from Christopher Parker. Let me just pull that up on screen for you. Procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun till you get the bill, and in sales, the bill is lost opportunity. Lost opportunity. And sadly for so many of us writers, we think, well, I'm a writer, I'm not a marketer, I can't do this, someone else has to do that. Well, it's a great thought. It's also a lie. It's also a self-fulfilling prophecy that you will never sell a book. It's also one of those thoughts that simply doesn't serve you. You are a writer, yes, but nobody is going to care more about getting your book out into the world than you are. And it doesn't matter how you publish your book. This is true. You are the one that's going to have to do the most work to make sure that the people you wrote that book for can actually find it. That's just a reality. So if that's uncomfortable, then probably you're in the right place, because we're going to talk a little bit about this today. But first, hello, my name is Christopher Diarmani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to share the journey, share their trauma to triumph journey, using a complete, detailed roadmap for writing success, so they can write, finish, and publish their book and make that impact in the world they know they were born to make. And marketing your book is such a huge, huge portion of that puzzle. There's three really big milestones in writing a book. Number one is your first draft. You can't publish a book until you get that part done. Publishing your book, that publication date, meeting that deadline, hugely important. And then the third thing is marketing your book. And that's the one that can go on for quite a long time and should go on for quite a long time, so that you're continually finding new and better ways of making sure that the people that you wrote this book for, the people who God put on your heart to write this book for, can find it. It won't happen by magic. This is not Field of Dreams. If you write it, they will buy it. No, that is not how it works. We need to go to great effort to make sure that the people that need our book can find it. But procrastination, it always feels so good in the moment, doesn't it? Well, yeah, I know I should go work out, but I really just want to lay on the couch and watch my favorite TV show and eat a bag of chips. That ain't getting my book done. Not in a million years. And even though it feels good in that moment, there's a price to pay. A great big price to pay. Not only is it bad for my health, it's really bad for my book. So staying in that comfort zone, that place where my dreams go to die, not a useful thing. I don't think it is for you either. I mean, it is the easier, softer, lazier way, sure, but ignoring the things I need to do doesn't get them done. It simply builds the small things that, if I do them today, are really, really easy, into a Mount Everest that is almost impossible to climb if I leave them to piling up for too long. And book marketing can definitely be that way. But when we live in that place, that comfort zone, all of our dreams, all of our hopes, all of our plans for the future, they die in that, they wither away in that corner. So while you're watching your television or eating your favorite snack, you lose the opportunity to connect deeply with your readers. These are the people who you wrote this book to help. Lying on the couch ain't helping them. Making them aware that your book exists and precisely how it's going to help them out of the pit of despair, of hopelessness, of fear that they're living in this moment. And that your book contains all the stuff they need to know to climb out of that pit and get back up to that life where you are today and where they know they want to be at some point in their future. Critically important to do that. And it takes effort, daily effort. It took daily effort to get your book done, right? You had to sit down every single day, ideally at the appointed hour, the same hour every day, and write. Marketing your book is exactly the same process. It's just the next step in the chain. If you don't write your book, nobody can read it. If your biggest fear, no one's ever going to read your book, well, guess what? You're not writing it, so they can't. So you're living your worst fear right this moment. That can come as a great big slap across the face for some. And maybe it needs to be. But the realization, the truth, that if I don't write my book, nobody can read it, might be a thought I've never had before. Might be a thought you've never had before. So let that just dispel all that fear. You're already living the worst possible outcome you could have. Everything from here is a step up. So write your book. Get it out in the world. Do those things. If you don't market your book, nobody can read it either. So again, having written it is one thing, But if you don't tell anyone it's out there, if you don't explain to other people in language that they need to hear it, that your book is the solution for the troubles they're facing right now, no one's going to read it. And you're back to living in that worst fear, that thing that you know in your heart isn't what you want. It's not what God wants for your book either. If you don't write and publish your book, if you don't market your book, you will never change a single life for the better. You're writing this book to do that. So not only will you not help anyone else, you won't help yourself either. Because there's two sets of people that your finished, published, and marketed book will serve, will save. Yourself, number one. Your published book is going to change your life in ways you can't imagine. It truly is. Just trust me on that. Every book I've ever published has done that for me. It'll do the same thing for you. But bigger than that, bigger than helping myself, I'm writing this thing to help this person, this ideal person who's suffering through all the stuff that I went through and needs to know that there is a path out for them. And they can only hear it the way I say it. They are unique in the world in that respect. They can only hear it the way I say it. Just like I couldn't hear right from an outline right every day for 15 years or longer probably, until someone said it in a way that actually broke through all the nonsense up here and made it to here. Your book is the same thing. Exactly the same thing. You're saying what the person needs to hear in the only way they can hear it. So I encourage you to heed the warning in Proverbs 20 verse 4. The lazy man will not plow because of winter, and he will beg during harvest and have nothing. If you're sitting there complaining that no one's reading your book, even though it's published, well, the problem is not them. The problem is not them. The problem is you need to get off your bum and start marketing your book. Do one thing today to help one person understand your book is out there and that it can change their life. And then do one thing again tomorrow. Take 3 minutes and do it. You can do this. It's easy. We build it up to be this monster in our minds though, and it's not. It's the same thing as writing your book. Your inaction comes with a grossly high cost. Grossly high cost. Every delayed action is more than a lost book sale. It's a lost opportunity to save someone else's life in the way only your book can. If you're not going to write it for yourself, if you're not going to market it for yourself, do it for them. Because I don't think that's the price you want to pay. I really don't. So I would love to connect with you on social media. That's it for today. I hope you found that helpful. And if it was a little bit of a kick in the pants, well, then hopefully that's the kick in the pants you needed to start getting your book out there into the world and doing the thing you need to do. But please connect with me on social media. All the links to all my social media platforms can be found at writingcoach.pro/Christopher. I would love to connect with you there on any of those platforms or all of those platforms. And there's a couple of tidbits there that I think will help you on your journey as well. Don't